What is animal in legal term? Animal means any living creature other than a human being. What is child means in a legal term? Child means any person below the age of 18 years. What is the legal term? What is the meaning of counterfeit in legal terms? A person is said to be counterfeit who causes one thing to resemble another thing, intending by means of the resemblance to practice deception, knowing it to be likely that deception will thereby be practiced. What is court? Court means other who is empowered by law to act judicially alone, or a body of judges which is empowered by law to act judicially. As a body, when such judge or body of judges is acting judicially. Death. What is death? Death means the death of a human being unless the contrary appears from the context. Dishonestly. Dishonestly means doing anything with the intention of causing wrongful gain to one person or wrongful loss to another person. What is document? Document means any matter expressed or described upon any substance by means of letters, figures, or marks, or by more than one of those means, and includes electronic and digital record intended to be used or which may be used as evidence of that matter. Explanation. It is immaterial by what means or upon what substance the letters, figures, or marks are formed, or whether the evidence is intended for or may be used in a court or not. For illustration, a writing expressing the terms of a contract which may be used as evidence of the contract is a document. A check upon banker is a document. A power of attorney is a document. A map or plan which is intended to be used or which may be used as evidence is a document. Explanation. Whatever is expressed by means of letters, figures, marks is explained by mercantile other using shall be deemed to be expressed by such letters, figures, or marks within the meaning of this section, although the same may not be actually expressed. A writes his name on the back of bill of exchange payable to his order. The meaning of the endorsement as explained by mercantile users is that the bill is to be paid to the holder. The endorsement is a document and shall be constructed in the same manner as the word pay to the holder, or words to that effect had been written over the signature. Fraudulently means doing anything with the intention of defraud, but not otherwise. Gender. The gender. The pronoun he, its derivatives are used of any person, whether male or female or transgender. Explanation. Transgender. Transgender means transgender shall have the meaning assigned to it in Class K of Section 2 of the Transgender Person Protection of Rights Act 2019. Good faith. Nothing is said to be done or believed in good faith which is done or believed without due care and attention. Government. Government means the central government or a state government. Harbor. Harbor includes supplying a person with shelter, food, drink, money, clothes, arms, ammunition, or means of convenience, or assisting a person by the means whether of the same kind as those enumerated in this clause or not, to evade a Prevention. Injury. Injury means any harm, whatever illegally caused to any person in body, mind, reputation, or property. Illegal, illegal and legally bound to do. The word illegal is applicable to everything which is an offense or which is prohibited by law or which furnishes ground for a civil action, and a person is said to be legally bound to do whatever it is illegal in him to omit. Judge. Judge means a person who is officially designated as a judge, and includes a person who is empowered by law to give in any legal proceeding, civil or criminal, a definite judgment, or a judgment which, if not appealed against, would be definitive, or a judgment which, if confirmed by some other authority, would be definite. Or number two, who is one of a body or persons, which body or person is empowered by law to give such a judgment. Illustration: a magistrate exercising jurisdiction in respect of a charge on which he has power to sentence to fine or imprisonment with or without appeal is a judge. What is life in legal terms? Life means the life of a human being unless the contrary appears from the context. What is local law? Local law means a law applicable only to a particular part of an area. Man means male human being of any age. Month or year in legal terms. Month and year in legal terms. Wherever the word month or the word year is used, it is to be understood that the month or the year is to be reckoned according to the Georgian calendar. What is movable property? Movable property includes property of every description except land and things attached to the earth or permanently fastened to anything which is attached to the earth. What is number in legal terms? Number, unless the contrary appears from the context. Word importing the singular number include the plural number, or words reporting to plural number include singular number. Unless the contrary appears from the context. Words importing singular number include the plural number, and words importing the plural number include the singular number. What is oath in legal term? Oath includes a solemn affirmation substituted by law for an oath, and any declaration required or authorized by law to be made before a public servant, are to be used for the purpose of proof, whether in a court or no. Oath. Oath includes solemn affirmation substituted by law for an oath, and any declaration required or authorized by law to be made before a public servant, are to be used for the purpose of proof, whether in court or not. What is an offense? Offense, except in the chapters and sections mentioned in subclasses, this and this, the word offense means a thing made punishable by this law. What is omission? Omission denotes as well as a series of omissions or a single omission. What is person in legal terms? Person includes any company or association or body of persons, whether incorporated or not. What is public in legal terms? Public includes any class of the public or any community. What is public servant? Public servant means a person falling under any of the descriptions, namely number one, every commission officer in the army, navy, and air force. Public servant, every judge, including any person empowered by law to discharge whether by himself or as a member of any body of persons, any adjudicatory functions. Public servant, every officer of a court, including a liquidator, receiver, commissioned, whose duty it is as such officer to investigate or report on any matter of the law or fact, or to make, authenticate, or keep a document, to take charge or dispose of any property, or to execute any judicial process, or to administer any oath, or to interpret, or to preserve order in the court, and every person is specially authorized by a court to perform any such duties is called public servant. Every assessor or member of a panchayat system are called public servant. Every arbitrator or other person to whom any cause or matter has been referred for decision or report by any court or by any other competent public authority is a public servant. Every person who holds any office by the virtue of which he is empowered to place or keep any person in confinement is a public servant. Every officer of the government whose duty it is as such officer to prevent offences, to give information of offences, to bring or offenders to justice, or to protect the public health, safety, or convenience is an public servant. Every officer whose duty it is as such officer to take, receive, keep, or expend any property on behalf of the government, or to make any survey, assessment, or contract on behalf of the government, or to execute any revenue process, or to investigate, or to report on any matter affecting the pecuniary interest of the government, or to make, authenticate, or keep any document relating to the pecuniary interest of the government, or to prevent infraction of any law for the protection of pecuniary interest of the government is a public servant. Every officer whose duty it is as such officer to take, receive, keep, expend any property, to make any survey or assessment, or to levy any rate or tax of any secular common purpose of any village, town, district, or to make, authenticate, or keep any document for asserting the rights of the people of any village, town, district is a public servant. Every person who holds any office by the virtue of which he is empowered to prepare, publish, maintain, revise an electoral roll, or to conduct an election or part of an election is a public servant. Every person means in the service or pay of the government are remunerated by fees or commission for the performance of any public duty by the government. Election. What is election in legal terms? Election means an election for the purpose of selecting members of any legislative, municipal, or other public authority, or whatever character. The method of selection is by or under any law for the time being in force is election. What does reason to believe means? A person is said to have a reason to believe a thing if he has sufficient cause to believe that thing be, but not otherwise. Special law. What is a special law? Special law means a law applicable to a particular subject. Valuable security. What does this mean? Valuable Security means a document which is all purpose to be a document whereby any legal right is created, extended, transferred, restricted, extinguished, or released, or whereby any person acknowledges that he lies under legal liability or has not a certain legal right. For illustration, he writes his name on the back of a bill of exchange. As the effect of this endorsement is to transfer the right to the bill to any person who may become the lawful holder of it. The endorsement is a valuable security. What is vessel? Vessel means anything made for the conveyance by water of human beings or of property. Vessel means anything made for the conveyance by water of human beings or of property. Voluntary means a person is said to cause an effect voluntarily when he causes it by means whereby he intended to cause it, or by means which he at the time of employing those means he knew or had reason to believe to be likely to cause. For illustration, A sets fire by night to an inhabited house in a large town for the purpose of facilitating a robbery and thus causes the death of a person. Here, A may not have intended to cause death and may even be sorry that death has been caused by his act. Yet, if he knew that he was likely to cause death, he has caused death voluntarily. What is a will? Will means any testamentary document. Will is any testamentary document. Woman. What is woman in legal terms? Woman in legal terms means a female human being of any age. What is wrongful gain? Wrongful gain means gain by unlawful means of property to which the person gaining is not legally entitled. What is wrongful loss? Wrongful loss means the loss by unlawful meaning of property to which the person losing it is legally entitled. Wrongful loss means the loss by unlawful means of property to which the person losing it is legally entitled. What is gaining wrongfully and losing wrongfully? A person is said to gain wrongfully when such person retains wrongfully, as well as when such person acquires wrongfully. A person is said to lose wrongfully when such person is wrongfully kept out of any property, as well as when such person is wrongfully deprived of property. Words and expressions. General expression. What is punishment? What is punishment? The punishment to which offenders are liable under the provisions: death, imprisonment for life, imprisonment which is of two descriptions, namely rigorous, that is with hard labor, but the second one is simple imprisonment. Forfeiture of property, fine, community service. Punishment may be like this: death, imprisonment of life, imprisonment for life, imprisonment which is of two descriptions, rigorous or simple, forfeiture of property, fine, community service. Punishment. The punishment to which offender are liable under the provisions: death, commutation of sentence. The appropriate government may, without the consent of the offender, commute any punishment under explanation. Fractions of terms of punishment. In calculating fractions of terms of punishment, imprisonment for life shall be reckoned as equivalent to imprisonment for 20 years maximum. Sentence may be in certain case of imprisonment wholly or partially rigorous or simple. In every case in which an offender is punishable with imprisonment, which may be of either description itself competent to the court which sentences such offender to direct in the sentence that such imprisonment shall be wholly rigorous, or that such imprisonment shall be wholly simple, or that any part of such imprisonment shall be rigorous and the rest simple. Amount of fine, liability and default of payment where no sum is expressed to which a fine may extend. The amount of fine to which the offender is liable is unlimited but shall not be excessive. Limit of punishment of offence made up of several offences. Limit of punishment of offence made up of several offences. Where anything which is an offence is made up of parts, any of which parts is itself an offence. Where anything which is an offence is made up of parts, any of which parts is itself an offence. The offender shall not be punished with the punishment of more than one of such his offences unless it is so expressly provided. Where anything is an offence falling within two or more separate definitions of any law in force for the time being by which offences are defined or punished. Several acts which one or more than one would by itself or themselves constitute an offence constitute when combined a different offence. For illustration, A gives Z 50 strokes with a stick. A gives Z 50 strokes with a stick. Here A may have committed the offence of voluntarily causing her to Z by the whole beating and also by each of the blows, which makes up the whole beating. If A were liable to punishment for every blow, he might be imprisoned for 50 years, one for each blow, but he is liable only to one imprisonment for the whole beating. But if while A is beating Z, Y interferes and A intentionally strikes Y, here as the blow given to Y is no part of the act whereby A voluntarily causes hurt to Z. The blow given to Y is no part of the act where A voluntarily causes hurt to Z. A is liable to one punishment for voluntarily causing hurt to Z and to another for the blow given to Y. Punishment of person guilty of one of several offences. Judgment stating that it is doubtful for of which. What is solitary confinement? Solitary confinement. Whenever any person is convicted of an offence for which under this provision has power to sentence him to rigorous imprisonment, the court may by sentence order that the offender shall be kept in solitary confinement for any portion or portions of the imprisonment. which he is subject. Sentence: not exceeding 3 months in whole, according to the following scale, namely, a time not exceeding 1 month, if the term of the imprisonment shall not exceed 6 months; a time not exceeding 2 months, if the term of the imprisonment shall exceed 6 months and shall not exceed 1 year; a time not exceeding 3 months, if the term of imprisonment shall exceed 1 year. Limit of solitary confinement. In executing a sentence of solitary confinement, such confinement shall in no case exceed 14 days at a time, with intervals between the periods of solitary confinement of not less duration than such periods, and when the imprisonment avoided shall exceed 3 months, the solitary confinement shall not exceed 7 days in any month of the whole imprisonment avoided, with interval between the periods of solitary confinement, if not less during than such periods. General exceptions. Right of private defense. Things done in private defense. Nothing is an offense which is done in the exercise of the right of private defense. The right of private defense of body and of property. Every person has a right, subject to some restrictions, contains this section. But if the right of private defense is for his own body and the body of any other person against any offense affecting the human right. The property, whether movable or immovable, of himself or any other person against any act which is an offense falling under the definition of theft, robbery, mischief, criminal trespass, which is an attempt to commit theft, robbery, mischief, or criminal trespass. The right of private defense of body extending to causing death. The right of private defense of body extends, under the restrictions specified, to voluntary causing of death or any other harm to the assailant. If the offense which occasions the exercise of the right be of any of the descriptions hereinafter enumerated, namely, if the right of private defense extend to causing death, if such an assault as may reasonable cause the apprehension that death will otherwise be the consequence of such assault, such an assault as may be reasonably cause the apprehension that the grievous hurt will otherwise be the consequences of such assault, you can cause death. If an assault with the intention of committing rape, you can cause death while exercising the right of private defense. You can cause the death if an assailant with the intention of gratifying unnatural lust. You can cause death if an assault with the intention of kidnapping or abducting. You can cause death if an assault with the intention of wrongly confining any person under circumstances which may reasonably cause him to apprehend that he will be unable to have recourse to the public authority for his release. An act of throwing or administering acid means if You are likely to get acid attack. You can cause death while exercising the right of private defense. Mm, when such right extend to cause any harm other than that, if the offense be not of any of the descriptions specified in this section, this the right of private defense of a body does not extend to the voluntary causing of death to the assailant, but does extend under the restrictions specified in section this to the voluntary causing to the assailant of any harm other than. Now, commencement and continuance of right of private defense of body. The right of private defense of body commences as soon as reasonable apprehension of danger to the body arises for an attempt or delay to commit the offense, though the offense may not have been committed, and it continues as long as such apprehension of danger to the body continues. When the right of private defense of property extends to causing death, the right of private defense can extend to causing death when there is certain restrictions. When the right of private defense of property extends to causing death, the right of private defense of property extends under the restrictions specified in section this to the voluntary causing of death or any other harm to the wrongdoer, if the offense, the committing of which, or the attempting to commit which occasions the exercise of right, be an offense of any of the descriptions hereinafter enumerated. Number 1, robbery. Number 2, house breaking after sunset before sunrise. Number 3, mischief by fire or any explosive substance committed or any building, tent, vessel, which building, tent or vessel is used as a human dwelling or as a place for the custody of property. Number 3, theft, mischief or house trespass under such circumstances as may reasonably cause apprehension that death or grievous hurt will be the consequence if the such right of private defense is not exercised.